Wagwan masses, welcome back to One Name Sports. And today, after the big embarrassment at the office, we'll give our thoughts on what is going on with the Reggae Boyz, what Tappa had right, which I know a bunch of people are not talking about, but also what his shortcomings are in relation to this squad. Before I get into it, please make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Also make sure you check out the One Aim IG page and check out our previous videos. This video actually wasn't supposed to come out until after the Costa Rica game. I was going to wait until all three games happened. I thought yesterday was going to be a nice, easy win, but got humbled. So without further ado, we're going to get right into what happened. So before we get into the Panama game, we have to look back on the Mexico game, which was a positive game in certain light, but also not so much in another. We have to understand that a bunch of the players that even played yesterday were not involved because of COVID and some restrictions placed. So we didn't have our full strength squad. We went into the Azteca where we traditionally haven't won or performed very well. And for a lot of the game, we were defending. A couple mistakes cost us 2 goals, which they probably shouldn't have gotten, but 2 great shots as well. We seemed from a beautiful Bosa finish that we were going to earn a point, but it wasn't meant to be, and we left there with nothing. Hell's head high though, because it was a great performance, and it looked positive. It didn't indicate what we were going to get moving into the office. Now, turning the eye on the office, what Tappa got right. He gave the 11 that everybody was looking for. All the British and European-based players, all in the 11. The only exception for me that I was looking for was Damien, who looked like he got rested. But again, we had plenty of English and European-based coverage. And I was looking for Shamar, but again, we had Antonia and Roof there in order to play. But for the most part, there were no negatives on the team selection. Everybody was balling for all of these players to come in and make sure all of them play, and this gonna be our strongest side. Not gonna act like I'm not one of those people, not to this effect, but Tappa said, listen, this is what I want. These are all the players you wanted. I'm throwing all of them on the field, right? They did not look good. They looked like they never played with each other before, which obviously they didn't. And it just wasn't there. There was no adjusting. There was no chemistry. It was not what they expected. And I feel like a part of it as well is that they underestimated. We as a team, as a country, we underestimated Panama and what they are and their gelling together and their camaraderie. And we just felt like, oh, we're just gonna brush aside this little side, you know. They come in here, we're gonna meet big bad Mikel Antonio and just run scared and allow him for walking and get goals. And now I will say, we did have a great opportunity early in the game where Antonio knocked that ball down for Roof. If Roof had a little more composure, able to take just one extra touch and control it and put it in the net, it would have been a different game. But that's just how it goes. Now, we're going to look at what Tappa got very wrong. From the Gold Cup, it has been very obvious, for me especially because I was at one of the games in the Gold Cup, that we have a big problem in our midfield. The midfield, we don't have enough bodies in the midfield. Tappa has this very rigid formation of 4-4-2 that he likes to play with 2 wingers. Nobody, I don't think there's a team in the world right now playing with that outside of maybe Burnley. Nobody's playing with a rigid 4-4-2 like that. So essentially, if you really look on it, we were playing with 4 forwards versus Panama and 2 central midfielders, no defensive midfielder. From what I recall, the 2 best formations, the 2 best performances we had was with a packed midfield formation. That was the performance against USA, I think that was in 2019, and the Costa Rica game when we had 3 in the middle. We need more bodies in the middle of the field. That's the missing piece. When I looked at the selection, I was like 4 forwards, and then I was expecting maybe Bobby was gonna play in front of Ravel and DJ, but no, Bobby was playing like Bailey step in, and then you had Corey Burke on the other side, and you had Roof and Antonio up front. Just, it's a very, very weird formation for a bunch of players that never played together before, and it's a formation that most teams don't play anymore. So that's the biggest fault of Tappa. There's no fluidity in terms of his adjusting. Like, as soon as you see, there's such a hole in the middle of the field, just like it's been since the Gold Cup, we've been seeing it. Hey, we don't have enough people in the middle of the field. It's not even the team selection, it's just coverage in the middle. We might not have a defensive midfielder, but put bodies in there, put more, pack up the midfield, and then use the speed that we already have with Flemmo, with Burke, with Bobby, with Antonio, with Shamar. Use that in there. The biggest issue with Tappa is he's just sticking with this 4-2-2-2, because that's essentially what he was playing. And that, I feel like, that's probably gonna cost him his job. I don't feel much better about Paul Hall, because how you as the assistant coach, you sit there and maybe you're supposed to be the savior now. Everybody's looking, Tappa, bring in Paul Hall. But Paul Hall is part of the coaching staff. You can't tell me you sat there and saw that and you are looking to take over as a coach and you don't put a word in your coach's ear. That's not the kind of wingman, and that's not the kind of boss that I would want for my team. But again, for me, the best formation that we can use is a 4-3-3. Just keep Ravel, keep DJ, but maybe put Speedy just sitting down there in front of the back line. Just pack the midfield. We love that quick passing in the midfield. Ravel loves his little 1-2s and make a dribble or whatever. But as we saw in the first goal, Ravel picked up the ball as a defensive midfielder, right? Dribbled from the center back, coming all the way up to the midfield. Then do that suicide pass across the middle of the field just to get Kemar Roof involved, who felt like, I haven't touched the ball in 5 minutes. Let me come down from center forward for go pick up the ball. And the defender just follow him. As soon as the ball come across, steal it. Ravel had left the middle open. He drove, shot time live, put it in the corner. Tappa has nothing to do with that in terms of the players on the field, because Ravel made a terrible, terrible decision. But if Speedy was already there, you'd have had an extra body to fill that. And that's how we got beat by Panama. That's how we got beat by Costa Rica. That's how Suriname and Guadeloupe were giving us problems. We just don't have enough bodies in the field, in the middle of the field. And that is the issue. 4-3-3, as I said, that's the formation. You can put Antonio in the middle, or you can put him to the right, put Bailey on the left, put Bobby Reed. But we need 3 bodies in the center of the field. We will have, defensively, we would have the 4 at the back with 3 in front of them. So you can play that long ball thing that I saw I was playing yesterday, or because of the extra people in there, you'd be able to pass the ball around, keep some possession. That's why we looked so good against Costa Rica, and we were dominating them to that effect. And everybody was saying, McGee looked like a Jenna. It's because we just had more people in the field, and especially defensively, we can compact and have more bodies. Our strength is in our wing, but not to the point of we have, we have essentially 6 wingers. Because we have the left back, the right back, the left winger, the right winger. Both forwards want to move out to the wing to get some space. It's just too much going on. So that I feel like is the biggest fault of Tappa. I don't really trust Paul Hall on that as well. But if he just makes that simple adjustment, all of a sudden Jamaica is a whole different looking team, and embarrassments like that will not happen again. But let me know what you think. Everybody's complaining, so please put your solutions in the comment section below. Let me know, other than Tappa leaving, what changes need to be made to the team to get us, 10 10 wins or 10 positive results out of these next 12 games, because we can't have this kind of performance against Costa Rica. Again, make sure you check us out on the One Aim IG. Please like, subscribe, share, WhatsApp, Facebook, IG, wherever you want to share your messages. And thanks again for all your support. This is One Aim Sports. Peace.